What's up, everybody? It's my privilege and honor to introduce to you Anthem Divi Child theme. I've been working on this for a couple months now, and a lot of times folks ask, why should I buy a child theme when I can do the same things in Divi? And it's absolutely true. You could develop this whole theme in Divi if you would like. But the biggest two thing I think is that by purchasing a child theme, you save, in this case, hours, many hours in design and development. If you look at the style sheet for this child theme, we have well over 1,000 lines of custom CSS written with features for this child theme that for you to easily take advantage of, and that's out of the box. And then also, at first glance, you might think that, man, this looks a lot like Josephine, which is another one of our child themes, and it does look similar, mainly because they were both designed by me, and I just love that style. However, Josephine is great, um, but it's pretty married to the Josephine font, and it has a certain kind of more of a Squarespacey type look, more of an elegant Squarespace look, modern. Whereas Anthem is a little more corporate. I call it a modern marketing child theme for Divi. And so in this video, I'm just going to go through page by page and just talk about the features in Anthem. So right off the bat, a couple things I want to note is for the menu here, we have a custom image background here. And there's also an option that I go over in a video tutorial that you can have a solid color or a gradient color that you can put at like 90% so you could still see the page content underneath. And speaking of video tutorials, we have over 15 video tutorials for the different features in Anthem. Now, obviously, you can purchase Anthem and you can just use it right out of the box. You can copy sections, copy modules and rows, and just build pages quickly. Or we also have a layout page that has all the layouts in this demo that you can just download and import into your project. And of course, when you buy the theme, there's also an import option that you could just import the demo as it is and then start making changes. So we have over 15 of those video tutorials for you. And so that'll be after you purchase, there'll be a link to that, or those will be included on the installation page, as well as a link to that layout, the layout piece. So first thing, we have a full width or full height slider. This is nothing new to the Divi community. There's plenty of tutorials out there on how to do this. But for Anthem, I'm just doing a couple slides. And so that is a nice feature. And all these designs, layouts, and features work well on tablet and mobile as well. Coming down the page here, we have a gradient background stripe here. And I show you how to do the gradient background just to give some personality. And here's some gradient text. We have a nice 3-column feature here with some hover effects there. So on hover, the colors are getting a little more vibrant or lighter, depending on what you want to do. Totally up to you. Pre-styled buttons, of course. Extra animations. Those were also part of Josephine. So with Divi, you can animate, the image module has some animation built in. But in Anthem, you can take animation classes and apply them to whatever you'd like. In fact, when I refresh the home page, you'll see that this fades in. And that's one of the animation classes. The whole section fades in. Same with that. That whole block fades up and in. This whole entire block, or row, I should say, fades in. Continuing on, we have a features grid, very similar to Josephine, but this time the icons are on the left as opposed to being on the top. And then also included in Anthem is the Image Intense plugin. Here's a few of the styles that you can do, but just Google Elegant Child Themes Image Intense plugin to see all the options that you can do. So it's pretty sweet that comes included with your Anthem purchase. And then here's just a few images that I've styled the plus button to make a little bigger and messed around with the background colors a little bit. But just a nice way to break up the page there. You also see we've snuck in these little gradient dividers, like 4-pixel divider lines with a gradient background. So those are real easy to use, or you could change the color. But I've used those in a couple spots to kind of help separate the sections as opposed to just solid lines. And then here we have a couple other gradient text pieces, and then showcasing one of the fonts. In this theme, the fonts aren't directly tied into the theme, so you can change fonts easily, unlike Josephine, where it's a little harder to do that. Here we have a fun little shapes background. So we have a gradient background on the section, and then the row is a full width row that has the shapes PNG. So that's a fun look I've been seeing on some sites lately. We'll cover the black and white version here in a little bit. We have a slim opt-in bar here that looks really great on tablet and mobile. So there's on tablet, and I can slide down and do mobile there. And we also have a single field version that we'll look at, but it's nice to have the slim opt-in bar already coded in here. You can just copy and paste it. A couple unique layouts that you saw in Josephine have been included here. A nice testimonials area. There's also a dark version of this on the black and white page. Here's a counter with a gradient background. Here we have an animated gradient background, and I would use that sparingly with our overlapping iPad image here, another popular look. But that animated background is pretty sweet. Used with caution, though, it could be processor intensive. We have a couple different toggle styles here, kind of the default one, and then a special one here. A couple other sections here, and when you go down to tablet and mobile, these actually reorder, so it's picture, text, and then picture text. And so if you've been frustrated with the stacking order, there's is default with Divi. There's a tutorial on how you can change that on these two columns. And then just some other call to actions with the gradient backgrounds. Here's a couple other unique layouts that I've included, and there's a tutorial on how to achieve these looks. Same with this section here. This is actually a background image, and then on the row there's a subtle color overlay that's giving it this effect so you can read the text easier. So that's nice. We have some pricing tables that are inspired from the Elegant Themes, one of their Divi 100 blog posts. And then on hover, we have this little hover up animation. That's nice. We have a couple different blog styles here. We have one where this is the grid layout, but I stripped out the card look with this image grow feature, which if you go to the main blog, it also does that as well. A half colored feature here. Some other card features here with some shadow. And on the pricing table here, you can also take this hover up effect, and you could apply that to these cards too. You hover them and they slide up. And then we have a contact form and another gradient background and a solid footer. I'll move on to our next home page here. So in an attempt to try to show how diverse this theme can be, I've done a black and white homepage version here, and it's featuring the half column overlay feature. And then we just have other call to actions. We have a very cool 3-column parallax, 3 different images section here. Here's that slim opt-in bar. This time though, there's no rounded corners on it. Some different button styles. So a lot of this is from the home page, just black and white versions. Here's the light testimonials, a couple counters, sections. Here's the dark testimonial widget. And then here are those toggles, but on a dark background this time. And here's this one on a dark background. And the social media. And then we have a dark contact form here, as well as a light contact form here. Video header is exactly what you'd think it would be. It's just a home page with a video background and using this half color feature over half of the video. It's a pretty cool look. And then here I'm using the same photos or same photo effects here for these 3 columns, but non-parallax. There's a gradient section again, another opt-in, some more gradient text there. I really like how that looks. That's a good solid gradient. Pretty stoked about this. I had a developer develop this feature for me, and then like a week later a tutorial came out online about it from someone else, but we've implemented it here. As you can see, the picture is kind of growing towards you. This will also be implemented on Josephine. Look, it works really well with like photos of mountains. On Josephine I'll have some mountain photos, but it's very fun. And you can also do this on section backgrounds too. So again, I probably wouldn't have it twice on one page. It can be processor intensive, but for demo purposes, I have it on both of these. And then once it gets done zooming in, it just stays at that zoomed in spot. Or you can change the code to have it loop and do it infinite amount of times. I think right now it's set to like 30 or 45 seconds. So yeah, and then I'm just messing around with some lighter colors here. But there we go, it's now settled into its new spot. So that's called Ken Burns effect. Really happy with how that turned out. Glad we're able to include that for you. And then Anthem Crafts is another attempt on taking the theme and trying to build a craft shop homepage with it. And so I think it's trying to use it in a real world scenario. So here we have Anthem Crafts business here, custom made goods, doing a little bit of typography trick here to get that to line up just right, and especially on tablet and mobile, quality actually comes up above and you can feel comes underneath. I guess I'll show you how that works. Like so. And just trying to use the theme in a way that, someone could take this and do a little home landing page real quick. Again, a lot of these are from the home page, but used with different images, you can get some really cool effects. And so that's Anthem Crafts there, and here we're using the dark contact form with a colored image. I'm really happy with how this looked, how it turned out. I think that's all the home pages that I have for now. I'm sure I'll add more down the road. The about page for now is just has that one field opt-in here instead of the 2 fields that we've seen so far. There's just the one opt-in for the slim, and then it's just showing some typography. Here's the blog post slider, and then a couple other layouts there. Team page I'm pretty excited about too. I did a couple things special for this one. Here's the kind of the regular team widget that we have with the image grow feature on the team. And then I also did this kind of checkerboard layout here, and I used the same layout down here with colored backgrounds. But what you'll notice is as I go down to tablet, usually it would reorder itself to be, picture, text, text, picture, picture, text, and it would lose the checkerboard effect. But with some jQuery, we've kept the checkerboard effect on the tablet. And then on mobile, it changes to picture, text, picture, text, picture, text. So no more stacking pictures, and that's all done through some jQuery. And there's a tutorial on how to do that in the theme download. Very stoked with how this turned out. Very happy with it. And then we have a few other layouts. This seemed to be a popular look that I've been seeing, this header overlap feature where the text kind of overlaps up in here into the header. So that layout is there if you want to copy it and use it. And then we have, I'm just going to open these up in a few windows here. So we have just our basic page here that we're testing out with different typography, getting it out there. Sidebar, and here's a full width page, just trying to make sure that those are all there for you. And then here we have a special email opt-ins area that have 3. We have our our single slim opt-in, our double field here. But then we have 3 other opt-ins that have been optimized for tablet and mobile here that you could copy and use. So I really like how this one turned out. And this one here is pretty sweet too. And then down on mobile, or on tablet, these work great. And then down on mobile, they work really well too. So there's just some pre-made little opt-in features you could use for landing pages or sections on a home page or whatnot. And then lastly, we come to the blog, which again, we have a couple styles. We have the grid here, which can also have that hover up effect, like on the pricing table, which I'm not a big fan of it on the blog, but you can use it how you'd like. And then down here we have our regular blog full width, which has the image grow technique. And then if I go to one of these posts here, now it's just a regular post as you would expect. And I think that might be, yeah, I think that might be it. So yeah, that's the features overview of Anthem. Thanks for checking out this video, and over time I'll be adding more features, I'm sure, just like I did with Josephine. And some of the features that I added to Anthem will be coming to Josephine. So if you're a Josephine purchaser, just keep watch on the Facebook pages for upcoming tutorials for effects. Like, for example, the Ken Burns will be part of Josephine very, very soon. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a great day.